Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday. And man, I love Thirst Trap Thursdays, but this one feels like a little bit of a trap. You know, we got the Orange Bowl going on tonight, Notre Dame, Penn State. So much on the line. I am so deadgum fired up for it. It is not even funny. We got a little Notre Dame action tonight with the Penn State Nittany Lions. Friday. By the way, Friday with Texas and Ohio State. And the winter storm that is coming across. Is half the country getting smoked right now? Is it me? Or do I just hear these things in the background when Chas is watching news? But, is a lot of people out there going to be getting hit by this winter storm or something going on since we're going to be getting ice? Now, it feels like ice every year about this time. But, at least from what I heard in the background noise, they said that this year is going to be buck wild for all kinds of people all over the place. So, if a large part of the country is basically snowed in over the next 24 hours, you're going to have NFL-type TV numbers for Ohio State, Texas tomorrow night. Oh my goodness, this winter storm couldn't be anything better for the College Football Playoff Committee and all the powers that be. And I think the Ohio State-Texas game is going to be phenomenal. I'm stoked. I mean, the best matchup's got to be Texas's secondary, led by the Jim Thorpe winner, and, of course, the Ohio State wide receiving core, led by the man, the myth, the living legend, Jeremiah Smith, who's by far one of the best college wide receivers, period. Not just this year. He's up there with some of the greats. He's just a freshman, and he's a baller. But we're going to talk about that one. We are definitely going to get real deep up in that Penn State-Notre Dame game. I've been going back and forth like a crazy person. But I think I finally figured it out. So we're going to break that down. We also are going to talk, of course, a little bit of NFL action as we got to get ready for all the craziness with Wild Card Weekend coming up Saturday with 2 games, Sunday with 3, and, of course, Monday. We're hopeful we're going to get the Monday night game. With all the heartache and painful, visuals that people are seeing with what's going on with those fires out there in California, it's heart-wrenching. Right now, as of today, they say that the game is still on, but they do have a backup plan. They might play in Arizona if they can't have that game. I'm not sure if it'll be pushed back yet. Right now, it's just all up in the air. But yeah, the fire is causing a terrible toll on people. 100,000 people have been ordered to evacuate. It's just heart-wrenching. It's terrible. It's sad. But it also does have ramifications in the sports world because the Vikings-Rams game supposed to be out there at SoFi. As of tonight, they say that the Lakers are going to play. They're still in talks about possibly postponing that game or moving it with all the situation going on with the fires. But right now, still no word as of when I got on the air. They said the Lakers, the Hornets tonight is still a go, but I'm sure things could change depending on what happens with those fires. It's just heart-wrenching. But we are going to talk tons about football because I am fired. We also got to talk a little bit about the Grizzlies. They're back in action tonight. Of course, they play Houston. Dylan the Villain's back in town. Crazy thing about the Grizzlies, man, is Tripp, he's been the man. He's been taking care of business like it's going out of style. And now he's on the damn injury report. Game time decision. Desmond Bain, game time decision. Ja, game time decision. Santi, game time decision. So we're going to have to figure some things out, find out who's going to be playing, who's not. Memphis tonight, 1.5-point favorite at Houston. Of course, it's here in Memphis. And also we have this winter storm coming in. I don't know what time it's coming in. weekend. I'm not really up on the news. I've been watching a lot of sports because it's kind of what I like. But it's supposed to come in. I don't know how many people are going to be down at the FedEx Forum, but if you're getting down to the Grindhouse tonight, make sure you be easy getting back. But we'll break down
John,
the Grizzlies.
It sounds like nothing really bad is coming till after midnight. So go to the Grizzlies game. You should be fine.
So after
but don't
midnight,
blame me if something bad happened.
After midnight. Yeah, I like that. All right, after midnight. So, peeps, you're going to be good. Go down there, enjoy life. Maybe hit up Beal. Afterwards, get you a diver from Silky's. They still got divers down in Silky's?
That's not the question for me.
You ain't you're not a...
It may be a question for me.
They still got divers down in Silky's. You remember those big old buckets we used to drink back in the late 90s?
Oh, yeah, the big green buckets.
Man,
orange or yellow or something like that.
Maybe, whatever. I don't know. Sure.
Like 5-6 straws in it?
Yeah, man. All the girls be like walking around. Ow!
John was too hammered to remember what color it was.
No, I'm colorblind, fool.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know. Could be this color, could be that color. But, yeah, head on down to the Grizzlies. They are a 1.5-point favorite. I have no idea who to touch when it comes to that. But one other little NBA nugget. Did anybody watch any NBA hoops last night? They had a crazy good game on last night. I don't know if anybody paid attention. It was the Thunder and the Cavs. And damn, they went at it. That third quarter, there was 84 points scored in the third quarter. They were so crazy back and forth, up and down. I haven't seen two teams get up and down like that and hit shots in a long time. And then in the fourth quarter, there was only 46 points scored because they clamped down on defense. NBA is wild. But, man, the Cavs are legit. They are straight up legit.
Hey, John, quick deal. You had a caller to let you know that he just left the FedEx Forum. He says there's salt down everywhere, so don't be afraid.
Oh, nice, man. Look, they already got you ready for tonight's game, and plus it ain't coming until after midnight. So go check the Grizz down at the FedEx Forum. They're going to beat up on the Rockets in Dillonville, and I hope. I don't know who's all going to be in uniform again because Tripp's on the injury report now. He's game time decision along with Ja and Santi. But fingers crossed, these guys are going to be playing. They're going to get a big win. The thing is my question is, though, this is a hard question. Like, this is a legit question. And I said no. And I hate sounding completely bougie, but I was asked if I wanted to go to the Grizzlies game tonight and sit in the box and drink and eat. And you know how much I love going up there and living the sweet life. That's SUITE life, baby. I love it.
Zach and Cody.
But let me just tell you, I'm like, man, I don't know if you know this college football playoff game. I got 2 televisions. I'm watching Grizzlies and I'm watching the college football playoff. I cannot go down to FedEx Forum. Could you imagine, like, being there and, like, all you can hear is the Grizzlies and you need to know what's going on and you can't rewind something and rewatch it and you're freaking out? Like, I'd be losing my mind. Because I'm going to play, like, I'm not going to be gambling large on a Grizzlies Houston Rockets regular season game. Now,
what a great weekend for you, John, to just bundle up in the house, don't go out anywhere and gamble your life away all weekend.
I gamble my life away.
Maybe not gamble your life away. Gamble the weekend away.
No, gamble my way into a new life.
There you go. That's the glass half full approach.
Yeah, brah. Like, I'm gambling my way into, like, I'm telling you, man, on these big games, there ain't a lot of them. So I can promise you I am going to rock and fire. Degas will tell you, he knows when I rock and fire, I rock. And I fire that joint. Speaking of rocking and firing, curl up this weekend while you're watching these games and it's cold outside. And, like, sit back and relax and drink you some Tito's. I'm telling you, man, on the way home, again, the bad weather ain't going to get until after midnight. Stop by the liquor store. You can get a handle, baby. A handle. For like $33.95. A handle. I'm not talking about 750 milliliters, baby. I'm talking about the big boy. I'm talking about the fat daddy. You can sit back all weekend long and watch these mad, awesome games. Tito's, crafted in still United States. USA vodka. It's also made from corn, making it naturally gluten-free, 6 times distilled before They still it in classic copper pots, small batches, unique method. That's why it's got that unique flavor. Slightly sweet with a black pepper note. It balances everything out, whether you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Make sure you get your Tito's on today, especially on a Thirsty Thursday where it's going to be cold. And you got Penn State and Notre Dame. Now, getting to a little bit of the action right now. Got to bring this stuff up because these are some of the important issues right now with tonight's game. I feel like James Franklin, when you look at the four coaches that are left, and you wonder to yourself, which coaches have the most to gain? Which coaches would a good run make like their life just so much easier? It's not even funny. And you can look at a lot of them in different ways. Like right now, Marcus Freeman, a young dude, he's galvanizing. He could be ushering in the next great era of Notre Dame football. Like going back to when Lou Holtz was down there doing his thing. Marcus Freeman with the NIL money. And you got to remember, Notre Dame doesn't share this $14.5 million that they get for this game. They get it, all of it. You got to realize Texas is going to have to split that with the SEC. They have a percentage. It's like percentage based. You look at Penn State, they split it with the Big Ten. Same with Ohio State. Notre Dame gets to keep it all. Marcus Freeman wins a natty, shows out really well, has another good performance tonight against Penn State. Huge for Notre Dame. But I don't think he has the most to gain. I think he has the second most to gain. Steve Sarkisian, you would think this is huge for him at Texas. But damn, man, are you hearing all the rumors about Sark people want to interview him? They're like, man, if he does lose, Sark could actually be coaching an NFL football team. Now, of course, this is, to Adam Schefter. He came out there and said there's a few teams around the National Football League that would like to talk with Sark. Again, Texas is Texas. They big, they bad. You got the Arch down there coming in to fill in the wings next year. Sark is still a hot commodity. But again, Texas is going to be Texas, and Texas will always be bigger than Sark. I don't feel like he has nearly as much to gain as others. I feel like his counterpart, Ryan Day, has more on the line than Sark because everybody in Ohio against Tennessee, when we went up to Columbus, was called, like all of them were even saying before the game, this was one of the crazy things. I don't even think I talked much about it because I was talking with a few Ohio State fans. And I was like, so how do y'all feel about this? And they're like, man, we can't lose. And I'm like, what do you mean? If we win, awesome. We continue in the playoff and hopefully we can go win a national championship. If we lose, we can get rid of that loser, Ryan Day. They're like, I can't stand him. He can't beat Michigan. He can't beat the SEC. At that time, of course, 1-4 versus Michigan and 0-4 versus the SEC. Of course, now they've beaten the SEC. But he was taking a little bit of a beating. So, yes, he has a lot to gain in Ryan Day. It'll mean job security, all that good stuff. And plus, they are the favorite right now. But if you look over at James Franklin, a man who is basically known as Big Game James, which is used as a slight because he never comes up big. Against top 10 foes, pathetic. Against Michigan and Ohio State's like 4-16. Like that record is terrible, but I would think so. I think for Notre Dame, the momentum would be huge with Marcus Freeman again, ushering in a new era. Again, the Brian Kelly era wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the same. I mean, when they made it to the national championship, they got smoked by Alabama. That was my man who got catfished. What was the middle? Manti Te'o.
Yeah, Manti. He's actually on, I believe, Fox. He's on the desk now.
Yeah, I saw him somewhere on the desk.
He's on the desk now.
Not bad. Manti. Every time, I wonder if it's like now he does. Do you think he still dates online? Or is it that now all in person?
I think he had a wedding ring on, so he's married.
Oh, he got married?
Yeah.
Is she real?
I would assume, I would hope, or maybe AI doing that.
I don't know, man. He could get one of them dolls like my man
Lamar.
Odom.
Yeah, like Lamar.
Man's got 2 of them already. One looks like Khloe Kardashian. But I think James could change the way people view him if he's on the national stage tonight and they get a big win against Notre Dame. Because right now, you know what the narrative is. James Franklin is still looked at, even though he's right here playing today, in the college football semifinal championship. You know what I mean? This is the semis, baby. But people are still saying, well, you went through SMU and Boise State. Boise State, a non-Power 4 team. Cute little story. Don't know how good they really are. They got there. It was cute. They got worked 31-14. Penn State's defense was legit. And then SMU, a team that wasn't in the Power 5 last year, but now is in the Power 4 this year. We saw that, that offensive line had no chance against the front seven of Penn State. Like that defensive front for Penn State whipped SMU. Poor Kevin Jennings. So it's not like they've beaten some powerhouse programs on the way to this path. Again, SMU, Boise State, Penn State had the easiest draw by far. Notre Dame, on the other hand, they beat Indiana. Big Ten team. Not a regular powerhouse Big Ten team, but this year, very damn good. And then, of course, going and beating Georgia, you got to give Notre Dame kudos on that one. They dominated that game. Now, the thing about that game, which is kind of like at least a little bit weird, when you think about it, Penn State and Notre Dame, if you look at their week, like Penn State dominated Boise State. Georgia and Notre Dame was a damn good football team. Gunnar Stockton made a costly turnover inside the 20. Notre Dame went and scored. There was a kick return for a touchdown. There was a fumble. They had +2. Notre Dame was +2 in the turnover margin when it came to that Georgia game. And Gunnar Stockton, I've been saying this, really doesn't have the weapons. And I don't think the fact that, you had a kid who's making, he had 44 pass attempts going into that game on the season. Big game to throw the backup quarterback in. But then you kind of think to yourself, man, Penn State hasn't really played anybody. Big game, James. This is the big game. This is the Orange Bowl. Is he going to succeed? Is he going to fail? I don't think Drew, and I'm not a big Drew Aller fan. Drew Aller fan. Aller. I'm not a big Drew Aller fan. I know he has one of the only quarterbacks, 50 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He doesn't turn the ball over, but he also doesn't throw the ball in tight windows. And sometimes he overthrows people and underthrows people, and he looks crazy out there like Chuck Knobloch. When he stands in the pocket, he looks like a NFL quarterback. But somebody was comparing him. One dude said he reminds him of Ryan Leaf. And I said to myself, damn, man, did you see what he did for the Cougars back in the day? Obviously not. That man was slinging it all over the yard, throwing in tight windows. That's why he was the second pick to Peyton Manning. Drew could shoot up the draft boards with a great performance tonight. He said he's coming back to Penn State. He can always declare after the game if he shoots up the boards. But again, it's kind of a weak draft this year. I like Cam Ward. I like Shedeur Sanders. But I'm not just like, damn, I know that they're going to be the next Peyton Manning. Oh, I know this kid is just Andrew Luck. John Elway, Dan Marino, yada, yada. And Dan Marino was the last quarterback taken, so I shouldn't even mention him. I'm talking about top dogs. But when you look realistically at this game, there is one common opponent, and that was USC. And I went through it over and over and over again, and you know what I found out? I don't think I can take anything from their common opponent, that was USC, because it was October 12th when Penn State played them. It was a different USC team at that time. It did go to overtime. Penn State had to play a insane second half. They scored 24 points in the second half because they found themselves down 17-6 at halftime to USC. That's back when you had my man little Miller Moss throwing the ball all over the yard. When Notre Dame played them at the end of the year, I just feel like they were a different football team. They had been beaten up for a while. They couldn't beat anybody else. They lost to Washington. They beat Maryland by 1. Notre Dame went and dropped 49 on them. Now, they did give up 35, but they scored a touchdown USC with 13 seconds to make it a 14-point game. Should have been 21. I mean, that last little touchdown again with 13 seconds was nothing. It should have been 49-28 basically. 3 touchdown difference. So it had me right off the jump leaning Notre Dame when I look at common opponent. And then thinking about Notre Dame beating Georgia and dominating on both sides of the ball. So I'm leaning Notre Dame heavy. And then I started looking at it a little bit closer, been checking out some injuries, thinking about it a whole lot more, and then I kind of came to the conclusion is, Notre Dame, I backed them against Georgia. I was comfortable. One of the reasons I backed them in the quarterfinals against Georgia was Gunnar Stockton. Also the lack of weapons. Well, Georgia is beat up. Didn't have Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers. Didn't have Carson Beck. Dylan Bell was terrible. They couldn't run the ball to save their life. Well, I don't know if you know, Penn State's got 2 damn good running backs. Nicholas Singleton ain't no joke. Like, they are really good. That offensive front is really, really good. And they have that damn tight end, Mr. Warren, man. And I think they get him going early and often. I think it opens up the game for the run game. Notre Dame is outside the top 50. Now, they are a good defense, but they can be run on. They are 50th in the country at average yards per attempt. While Notre Dame defense looked great against Georgia, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Penn State's going to be a different animal. Because they can run the damn ball. And Notre Dame, I feel like, got themselves lucky in a few situations against Georgia. Again, the turnovers were huge. Turnovers are huge for Notre Dame. +2, huge. Backup quarterback, huge. I look at Penn State, I'm thinking they got better weapons. They're healthier. They had 2 extra days, by the way, to prepare. And the big key for me is Jeremiah Love didn't look like Jeremiah Love against Georgia. How's he going to look against Penn State's defense? Penn State's defense, which is 4th in the nation against the run. I think my heart, my feeling, me digging Marcus Freeman, you know what I'm saying? Because I dig him. I think he is cool. The play where poor Kirby Smart was flipping out about the ringing 11 on and 11 off and false start. Man, that was the him on the sideline. Like, I like Marcus Freeman. For some reason, I don't like James Franklin. I liked him when he was at Vandy. When he left, I think it's because he lost me a few big games when they had those whiteouts early in his career, and I thought he was going to beat Ohio State and Michigan. Maybe I just lost a lot of money. But it's also his record versus top 10 teams, his record versus Michigan, Ohio State. Big game, James. It's just kind of stuck. I always say I like Key and Pill, whatever. Is it, which one plays James Franklin?
I forget it. I know what you're talking about. Keegan something.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's a great James Franklin. This James Franklin's also annoying. Like, at the podium the other day talking about how he thinks everybody should be. Did you see his press conference yesterday?
The big talker.
Like he's sitting up on the stage, he's with Marcus Freeman, and then, they asked James Franklin. And of course, he's asked the question and he answered, so I got to give him respect for that. But damn, dude, like, I think everybody should have to be at a conference. I think it's unfair that Notre Dame's not in a conference.
He's right.
Dude.
Notre Dame is taking that money and running with it. Plus, they get to dodge a conference championship game.
Yeah, but they also, on the flip side, they currently, at least this iteration of the college football playoff, they'll never get a bye, so they'd have to win 4 games to win a natty.
That's the only penalty. So you would take that if you were touchdown Jesus.
Yeah, I think you would.
You would.
I agree with you. I just don't know. I don't know. James,
you don't get a bye, but you get a home game.
You know what it is? He reminds me of some ex-girlfriends that I have. He's whiny.
Hey, I got that name
and
for
opinionated.
Guy's name is Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan Michael Key. Now, he's hilarious. I like him.
And he looks just like him.
He does. But as much as I think I like the Notre Dame program,
I love it. How about those unis? The
They-
battle of the unis, man. The Golden Domers.
Yeah, they got some too damn dope.
Come
dope
on, man. You
unis.
got the Golden Domers and then that historic blue and the white helmet. It's just
Those are great ones. But again, like I guess my point here is, I think my feelings wanted me to bet on Notre Dame, and I was looking at them through Notre Dame jaded glasses. And then the more I did a little digging, and Abdul Carter, I think, is going to play everything from his social media accounts, everything from what I'm hearing, he's going to go. Now, Marcus Freeman said Jeremiah Love's going to play. He never said Jeremiah Love's looking good. Never, he didn't look good against Georgia. That knee injury that he re-injured, that's not, this is a big game. This is a war of attrition. And if you have Jeremiah Love banged up, how's Lincoln Riley going to be able to get those, those reads where the linebackers and defensive ends are crashing and then he's just running right down the damn field? You won't have to worry about Jeremiah Love as bad if he's banged up. That kind of gives me a little bit of pause for cause. And then again, the Nittany Lions secondary is, I think, better equipped at shutting down Notre Dame's passing game than Notre Dame's, who's going to play a lot of man. And again, I think the secondaries and the passing games are going to be the difference. Right now, I think Penn State, I don't see Drew making the mistakes that Gunner did, as Georgia did. I also think that, you have Ty Warren. I think they have actually better weapons than Georgia. I'm not saying a fully stocked Georgia team wouldn't have beaten Notre Dame and a fully stocked Georgia team wouldn't have beaten Penn State. But right now, the iterations that we saw, Notre Dame had Georgia. I don't know if they can get Penn State as much as I like Notre Dame. I think my money, which I like even more, plus money right now, I can get plus 120.
I surely took them.
Penn State on the money line
I surely took them.
in a game that's going to be low scoring, close to the vest. You actually have one quarterback who, by the way, he does look like Chuck Knoplock. He's still able to throw the ball vertically down the field where I don't know if Riley Leonard can. 15 touchdown passes, 15 rushing touchdown passes. Rushing touchdowns. That's straight up. He's a bad man. He's the thing that makes the engine go. But does anybody really get off on that Penn State defense?
Absolutely. Abdul. He's coming back.
No, I'm talking about, does anybody get off?
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, the
you
opposite
see,
team. Yeah.
All of a sudden, they come out there and they just humming.
Nope. It ain't happening tonight, buddy.
First half of the USC game, Miller Moss was on fire. Since then, of course, Oregon got him in the championship game, but damn, I will tell you one thing. I'd respect that game after Drew. That was one of his best games. He was actually pushing the ball down the field. And also, Penn State's got to beat somebody of note. You know what I mean? Like SMU and Boise State still haven't turned me on and made me 100% believe. But damn it, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm believing. You already took it? You already played it?
Yep, so I got a parlay, and I need two other legs, and the legs are Penn State and Ohio State.
You got both on the money line, or did you lay the 6?
Let's see. I think I took both money line. Hold on.
Both on the money line. Man, while we're looking up these bets, and we're going to tell you on the other side, I'm going to take a quick timeout. Isaac's not going to be able to join us. Sorry. I hope everything's wonderful for Isaac. It's just work, meetings, things like that. Sometimes things happen.
He's pre-snowed in.
Pre-snowed in?
Pre-snowed in.
I like it.
He's getting ready.
Man, I'm getting ready. Make sure you get ready on the way home. Make sure you stop by your local liquor store and get you a bottle of Tito's so you can curl up to some Tito's, keep warm, and watch football all weekend long. Tonight, Orange Bowl, Notre Dame, Penn State. I like Penn State. Tomorrow, Texas. Whew. Texas, and Ohio State. That's a big boy game.
You stayed long enough. Both money lines. I got plus 104 with Penn State and minus 225
Oh,
Ohio State.
damn, man. If they still got plus 120, I need to take that now. You got plus 104?
Yep, I did this last week, though. I had a 5-legger.
Maybe more money has been pouring in on the Golden Domers. I can believe it. Nobody in the Big Ten believes in Penn State. They're probably all bet. Everybody in the Big Ten's like, we know James Franklin in these games. Ha, see it every time. And then you got to think about all the Catholics across the country. They're all betting on the Golden Domers, right?
Oh, of course.
Like for Catholics, betting in a sin, is it? Like, is that a sin anyway?
I would not
I don't
venture
know.
to ask.
901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. The Sissy Log Cabin text and listener line. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Just kind of curious because I was just wondering, is gambling a sin? I don't know. I'm being dead serious. This is a great question for me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just going to ask for forgiveness, right? Like during the break. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't stopping, especially this weekend. We got games, and more games. We're talking football on the other side. We got to get a little NFL taste. We haven't even touched really the Texas and Ohio State game, which I think is going to be a slobber knocker. We'll do that all on the other side. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
We're talking about playoffs. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New DraftKings customers can bet just $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code HERD, H-E-R-D. New customers get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue. Cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. With over 175,000 cars served in our drive-thru, 4,000 online pickup orders, and 1,500 party packs delivered to offices and events every year. Corky's is a trusted go-to barbecue for parties. Our party packs start at just $6.99 per person. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 meat combos, pick your favorite sides, and as you know, Corky's always gives you plenty of food, so you never worry about running out. Whether it's pickup or delivery, we got you covered. Corky's makes it easy to impress your guests. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to order for your next dinner.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. We got a winter storm coming, baby. It's going to be cold, man. real cold. But don't worry, man. Nothing's coming till like midnight. You know what I mean? After midnight, baby. That's when it's coming. Memphis, by the way, at home against the Houston Rockets. Dylan the Villain's coming back to the house. You got Jaren Jackson Jr., a game-time decision. Desmond Bain, John Morant. Feel like I'm missing somebody, and I know I am. Oh, Santi. And Santi's also a game-time decision. We'll see what's going down, but right now Memphis 1.5-point favorite. They play tonight 7 o'clock tip. Just the tip. The rest is coming fast down the pipe, if you know what I'm saying. And hopefully it's the Grizzlies with a nice cover. Don't forget Memphis Tigers. They do play Saturday. Like, is it going to be really bad on Saturday?
It is, meteorologist John. I'm glad you brought that up. My big question, and what all your listeners want to know, have John Harden gone to the grocery store?
Actually, damn, this is going to sound so sexist. I asked Chas if she was going to do that today, and she said, yes, baby.
Yeah.
'Cause she's an angel.
Hopefully she gets the good stores. Because
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I like going to the grocery store. If
during
you give
this
me
time,
a
though?
list, I mean, I don't
You
know
ain't getting
about this
nothing on
time.
the list.
Well, I mean, no, well, like, I see, like, I like, you know, you eat like a nice little edible. By the way, you get them legally, your medical card across the bridge. Eat one of them junts.
Just go shopping.
About an hour later,
You got
like,
stuff.
You are in the grocery store just feeling it, man.
But they
looking
got
for your
nothing on the
stuff.
shelves but Manwich now. Like, that's all it is.
Oh, you
Manwich.
mean it's all empty?
Yeah, it's empty, yeah.
Oh, so we're already screwed?
You're screwed. Yes, y'all are doing this today.
I mean, like...
You know how us Southerners are, dude. I went to 2 Kroger's yesterday, and I found everything I needed at a Dollar General, believe it or not.
Damn, dude.
Yep. But I'm in Mississippi. Good luck on going to your Dollar General and getting milk. Nothing's going to be there. Your city's populated too much.
Huh. So, guess I'm going to have to...
You'll be surprised what she brings home.
I was going to say, we
You'll
might
be
be eating a lot of eggs.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Crap ton of eggs.
Like, they don't run out of that ever, do they? Like,
Milk
chickens do
and bread
pop
are
it.
scarce. Eggs were plentiful.
Man, I don't even drink milk anyway.
Hot dogs, milk,
I don't eat bread either.
and
I do
Manwich.
when I'm out and there's like somebody fixes it for me.
But you know what I did notice? That the meat section, like where they do like the hand-cut meats, they had a ton of big ribeyes and steaks. So
like Whole Foods,
yeah,
Fresh Market,
yeah,
they still going to be
yeah.
Gucci, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I can find some food, fool.
You're going to be eating good steaks and stuff. You know, not normal people food.
That sounds delicious, actually. Actually, you know what sounds even better? Is Los Cabos right now. You know, right now you can go to Los Cabos. They got lunch specials from 10 to 3 daily, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Yeah, go over there. $7 to $11 lunches, baby. Their lunch specials are ridiculous. You'll be so full. Their bar is so fat and stocked. Their food, man, I'm telling you, that's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Los Cabos, right there at Summer and Graham. Check them out. Now, we did get a text that says, what have you heard about the... About half of the Notre Dame team has the bad flu. Holy hell. That makes me want to pull out my phone. Now, can you do me a favor? Can you, like, find somebody and look Google or whatever of Notre Dame and them have the flu? Because actually,
I've already done that and I could not find it.
I've been watching every damn show you possibly could. I think I've read everything on it, and I haven't, but...
Texter, you got to send us a little more
You got to
deets.
send me a little more deets on this because I'd love to look into this.
Because
I'll reach out.
I'm actually an investigator by trade at work. So not only did I look up bird flu, I looked up bad flu. Like, I looked up several terms that he possibly could have meant and did not see it.
And man, if Notre Dame had the bird flu, they wouldn't be playing, man. Isn't that like some bad stuff or something?
Big bad. Yes.
It's really bad?
Really bad, yes.
Like, how bad?
Like, it will spread through the team and they would forfeit the game bad. Like, you cannot postpone it. Like, because there's no not necessarily there's no diagnosis, but, you know.
My man's on to something. I'm better at this. I'm better than you, man.
You're investigative.
I went to the Notre Dame
the website?
message board.
The great message board where all truths live. Tell us.
And it says right now, holy hell, it appears that the flu is surfacing ahead of the Orange Bowl. Tyler Horka, he's the Blue and Gold Illustrated reporter. He says that, he said, luckily, this is so weird. How is this possible? He says, primarily right now, the flu has been spread among the backups and special teams players. Get those kids some chicken soup. I don't care if you got the flu. They're going to be playing. I'm more worried about Jeremiah Love's knee than him being sick. But I'll tell you one thing, man. If you got a bad knee and you got the flu, I man ain't going to be running nowhere. And by the way, I did look up the line. It is not plus 120. It's even money, right? Almost plus one. It's even money. It's minus 120 if you take Notre Dame. It is even money. Bet 100, get back 100 if you take Penn State. Right now, 55% of the money line bets are on Notre Dame, 45% obviously on Penn State. 69, good number, percent of the spread bets on the Golden Domers minus the 1, 31% on Penn State. That also makes me like it, even like a little bit more. I love me a little Penn State, but yeah, man, a little flu going through. Get you some chicken soup. It's going to be a long night, I feel like, for the Irish. Nobody's texted me in if like, can you not Google that one too?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm trying to think of the 10 Commandments, and I don't think that in there it says don't gamble on football.
Nope, it's not in there. Google says it. It's not in there.
Dig that. All right, Golden Domers, I know they're going to be throwing down a little coin tonight. Now, we've been talking tons about this football game. I do want to mention real quick about the other game because you might want to do a little parlay action tonight. And if you do want to do a little parlay action, I'm kind of curious. What do you think about the over 53.5 with Texas and Ohio State?
Under. Both teams do not allow points, John. They're like top 5 in defensive scoring.
I know against
combined, they give up
inferior.
less than 30 points combined.
I know. I'm excited to see the secondary of Texas against the unbelievable wide receiving core of Ohio State. Jim Thorpe, a winner for Texas against the best wide receiver in college football in Jeremiah Smith. But I do think, like, Texas is probably going to be one of the more physical teams Ohio State's seen since Michigan. Again, no disrespect to Tennessee. I don't know what it, man, Tennessee's front seven was so good all year long. Ohio State just whipped them. I just feel like it is so hard not to take Ohio State the way they've looked. And again, I don't trust Quinn Ewers. And you can say, well, John, you didn't trust Will Howard. Well, I didn't until they changed their complete offensive philosophy and started pushing the ball vertically down the field because their wide receivers are so good, nobody can cover them. If you're in man, they open. And Will Howard looks great. I mean, Emeka is making big plays all over the thing. And by the way, have you noticed how, like with Jeremiah Smith, them doubling him, Emeka Ebukwe, he is freaking wide open.
Yeah, he's a problem.
And I mean, I just feel like that's going to be a problem. And Quinn Ewers, again, he made a great throw against Arizona State. I hate to say this, Ohio State is not Arizona State. And Arizona State, let's be real, got jobbed. I mean, they got jobbed. Yes, they should have stopped him on 4th and 13. We wouldn't even be talking about it. But my goodness. How can you not take Ohio State? Like, am I crazy to even think? Like, listen, Texas is a good football team. Georgia beat them twice. Texas, outside of playing Georgia, like, what was their win that you were like, damn, that's impressive? I mean, yeah, they beat up on Clemson. But who hadn't beaten up on, in like any SEC team not beat up on Clemson? And then Arizona State, I mean, 31 points. Scatterboo running right down their damn throat. Speaking of Scatterboo, if you can't stop Scatterboo, how you going to stop Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, 2 NFL backs, 3 NFL wide receivers? Like, you can't cover everything. Chip Kelly's been dialing it up right. I think Ohio State, man, I can't believe I'm saying. I think they actually roll Texas.
I was just looking up Texas's strength of schedule. You'd be shocked at that.
I mean, it's soft as baby poo.
But guess where it is, though?
Where?
11 in the country.
No way.
Absolutely. So, you know.
You serious?
Yes, strength of schedule, Texas Longhorn, 11th.
I mean, they played Michigan early in the year, and Michigan was average. I know they did beat Ohio State, but, like, they handled Michigan. You had Mississippi State, who was trash. You had
They had-
Oklahoma, who was trash this year. Vanderbilt was good. They beat them by 3 points. I mean, Vandy could have won that game. Arkansas isn't any good. Kentucky, like Texas A&M, is that their best win?
Yeah, and just about every team you name, strength of schedule is above theirs. Michigan State, Florida, Mississippi State, Michigan, Florida, as well as, who else you call? Kentucky. All of them. Strength of schedule, much tougher than Texas. Texas shall get, like, bludgeoned from what you say, but strength of schedule is 11. Maybe that means parity.
What about Ohio State?
Ohio State strength of schedule is above them as well. Theirs is 8th.
Well, I just know what I saw Ohio State do to Oregon. I know what I saw Ohio State do to Tennessee because I was there, and it was a beatdown. And I watched also the Arizona State game. And after that safety, Texas, once they lost momentum,
downhill.
Man, it was going downhill with a quickness. And, man, 4th down and 13, Quinn Ewers, big throw. Big throw. Texas is still alive by the hair of their chin. I'm definitely, man, I'm sorry. I'm going dog tonight. I'm going favorite tomorrow. Sometimes, as Lee Sterling says, you got to lay it if you want to play it. Don't forget, though, you don't got to lay down a lot of bread if you want to eat fat. Los Cabos. By the way, 10 a.m. to 3 lunch specials. You don't have to lay a lot of bread down because it's $7 to $11. Flavors of Mexico are melting in your mouth at Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham. And one texter says gambling's only a sin when you lose. I like my texter. I agree. Also, man, like, one other thing about gambling. Do you remember your wins as nearly as much as you do the hard losses?
No.
Why is it that pain is easy to remember?
Because it hurts.
Guess so.
And it doesn't hurt so good. It just hurts.
Hurts. No, it doesn't hurt so good. But we're going to win tonight because, again, we're going to be on the right side. We're taking the Netley Lions. Big games. James Franklin's going to get a big game. As much as I like Marcus Freeman, Jeremy Live's banged up. I don't think that they're going to be able to play man-to-man. Drew Lawler's going to push the ball down the field, and I think Penn State's actually going to be able to run on Notre Dame, or I don't think Notre Dame's going to be able to run on Penn State, and I don't trust my man Riley Leonard to push anything vertically, realistically down the field. He's just not a great thrower of the football. He can run. He can throw, some cute little passes. But it's not like he's going to be picking a secondary apart. I love them. I love Nittany Lions. I like Ohio State. We've been talking college football all day. We got to take a quick timeout. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes. So don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sometimes you just want to make it fast, like the fun that comes from a quick and nimble 2024 Honda CB500F. This amazing style streetlights with a narrow 471cc twin, along with a sweet GT display, dual disc brakes, and standard ABS, all at a price. Find fun in all white Lexus 2024 Honda CB500F, available at DeSoto Honda, 5656 William Road in Olive Branch.
We're in crunch time right now. A new administration will be sworn in soon. But as great as that is, that also means our enemies have days left to stir up trouble. That could mean a cyber attack, an invasion, or God forbid, a nuclear strike. So until the longtime bureaucrats are out of Washington, it's not worth taking any chances. That's why you need an emergency food supply from My Patriot Supply. Right now, they're offering $100 off their 3-month emergency food kit. It's got 2,000 calories per day for 3 whole months. Plenty to get you through even a prolonged emergency. All their food kits last for up to 25 years in storage. Plus, they come in rugged, weatherproof buckets. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now to order your 3-month emergency food kit. Your safety's worth it. Your security's worth it. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com to order your 3-month emergency food kit now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
You know, I think people forget there's a Central Barbecue location in South Haven.
And that's on us.
Well, you...
What does that mean?
Well, you're the spokesperson for Central Barbecue. It's your responsibility to remind people there's a Central Barbecue in South Haven.
It's very convenient that I'm the spokesperson when there's responsibility to be taken.
Just mention the Central Barbecue location in South Haven.
I got a lot to remember. There's the location on Butler downtown. There's a location on Summer, on Poplar.
And Getwell Road in South Haven. How hard is that?
I've heard you call yourself a spokesperson for Central Barbecue.
No, it was just to pick up chicks.
This Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell online radio show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Nancy Porter with 24/7 Sports. Former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons. Gordon Ford covering SEC sports now. And former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Garvey from kickoff to first throw to extra innings. Your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 live 60 AM and 98.5 FM. Your South Sports Station.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Got to tell you also, man, I'm telling you right now, I like the Nittany Lions tonight. Win the game, heads up, take them on the money line, even money. Tomorrow, Ohio State's dropped to 5. I like the Buckeyes. And I also do, you know, you said the under. I'm sorry, I can't. I like over. Since basically Chip Kelly looked at himself in the mirror and said, you know what, I'm going to start getting my playmakers, my best skilled guys, the ball in space, push the ball vertically down the field with Will Howard. You know, then using the pass game to open up the run game with Travion Henderson and Quinshad Judkins. I don't know if you know, they're number 1 during the college football playoffs, period, at passing, at average yards per pass, and they're 3rd in passer success rate. 1st in yards per play, 1st in overall total passing, 3rd in passer success rate. Will Howard's been ridiculous. Emeka, Jeremiah Smith, dude's running wide open. Travion Henderson, Quinshad Judkins, I can't help but say, and everybody was worried about Ohio State's offensive line. They've been looking real good. To the tune of dropping 41 on Oregon, to the tune of dropping 42 on Tennessee. I mean, Texas, their defense ain't all that much better. They gave up 31 points to Arizona State and 24 to Clemson.
So you're saying they're leaking oil?
Man, I think Ohio State bum rushes them, and Texas has to go to the air often, playing from behind, and I think we're going to have it end up,
backdoor cover?
No, I think, 38.
Okay.
Ohio State,
Chip Kelly looked himself in the mirror after listening to your show, John.
38-24.
That's when he looked himself in the mirror. He listened to you.
Yeah, man, why are you trying to out-muscle? Like, why are you trying to out-muscle somebody?
Yeah, you were killing Will Howard, and Chip heard you.
I was killing him earlier. Well, I mean, during the regular season, if you look at his numbers, he's got 3,400 yards. He's got 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But it's not like they were using him in the pass game. Like, it was more like they would get a lead, and the next thing you know, he'd throw one big pass. And
do you recall where you had him in that, I guess, the quarterback rankings when we first started?
7th.
7th, 8th? Ugh.
Yeah.
It's proven Johnny Radio wrong.
Oh, yeah, he did. Shoot. Had Drew down there, too. Quinn Ewers was down there.
Oh, man. How about that? Let's take back. We need to take a look back at that.
I have it over in my bag. I'll check it out. Yeah, it did turn. Johnny's quarterback rankings.
All of the guys on the lower tier are still playing.
Yeah. Except for, remember, I had Riley Leonard was actually out of the guys remaining was my highest.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I was going to put somebody my highest, I would put definitely Will Howard. Then I would have to go with, do I go with Drew?
Got to, right?
Golly.
Got
Drew,
to, right?
Then Quinn. And then right now, just because of Jeremiah Love being banged up, defense for Penn State, and the fact that I know he can't beat you vertically, like Riley Leonard, I got 4th. I just don't think he's going to have a lot of success against anybody that he plays.
I don't like Quinn Ewers because of his beard. I can't grow one, but you have a great beard, John. Quinn Ewers does not.
I do have a big old beard.
I don't like his beard. That's why he's not going to win.
And I don't dye mine like Ryan Day's dumbass does. Like, what in the hell is that?
It is charcoal black, isn't it?
Man, it's so man, that's darker than my hair was when I was 20 years old. My goodness. Just for men for what, dude?
Hey, he'll be getting a contract extension soon. So
Don't
look out
chicks
for
find,
that.
by the way, chicks dig the salt and pepper.
I thought they did the long ball.
Chicks do dig the long ball.
They used to.
And then and by the way, Sammy Sosa's now welcome back to the Cubs. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
He's going to make an appearance at a fan thing this year. He's said he was sorry. Kind of admitted that he doped. Kind of didn't. He said he was sorry for making mistakes.
Is it going to be the Sammy that played or plastic surgery Sammy? You know, he looks different now.
Oh, I know. He looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I thought he looked like Michael Jackson.
No, dude, he's too big in the face for Michael Jackson. But he is doing, it does seem like he's doing the bleaching situation. But they say it's like, is there something that all of a sudden when you get older, you just turn white?
I have to ask Sammy.
I gotta actually. Does anybody out there know that? 901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. My homie's gone from black to off-white.
Off-white.
Darian's cracking up. I hope y'all are having a great Thirsty Thursday. I am, because, man, it's always brought to you by the best. That's Tito's. Make sure on your way home, we got some bad winter storm coming up in this joint. Not till after midnight. Make sure you go up, stock up, get you a big fat bottle of Tito's. USA Vodka, baby. Crafted and distilled down in Austin, Texas, and it's delicious. Make sure you get your Tito's on today. On the other side, it's time to talk a little bit of Rebels. They play Saturday LSU. We'll talk about their game last night against Arkansas and so much more with Evie Van Pelt. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair. Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking. With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusion supply. Visit staples.com/red for details. Ends 2/1. Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback, hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000-square-foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-sized courts, 3 high school-sized courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member in both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis. If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $4.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham. 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253 DF Memphis with Brad Mooresworthy and Bryant Dacus. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6. That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday. It's cold, man. We got a winter storm rolling up on this.
Can we start calling it Sammy Sosa? We've got a little Sammy blowing in.
We got a little Sammy blowing in. A little Sammy Sosa.
We wake up tomorrow, there'll be a lot of Sammy on the ground.
I know I can't tell it, but people will kind of like see the sideways. Like, does he look at his wife and kind of wonder, You remember the Chappelle Show?
She probably wonder who the hell he is.
Yeah, like, yo, what happened to you, Casp? Like, you don't even call him Casper. It's just like you short him like Penn.
That iconic, I guess the little movie did with, what's my man? Big Mac.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the little...
With their forearms.
Yeah, with the forearm. He does not look like that anymore, people. If you have that memory, that's not Sammy anymore.
No, he looks more like he does. I mean, he's actually kind of fat. He, like quit doing steroids. I'm sure you're gonna lose a lot of muscle mass, and then it turns to fat. But he's also, like I said, I mean, I got a better tan than Sammy.
Most
Damn
definitely.
right. And it's winter, baby.
What's up,
I'm talking all kinds of poppycock because it is a thirsty Thursday. It's gonna we got a cold storm coming in tonight. You got Grizzlies, the Houston Rockets going down. Saturday we got a little Memphis Tiger action, East Carolina. But tonight, college football playoff championship starts off the semifinals. You got the Orange Bowl with Penn State and Notre Dame. I know I am fired up. Don't forget, though, this Saturday, Ole Miss LSU plays. Tomorrow we got Texas and Ohio State. We got Wild Card Weekend, 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Hopefully 1 on Monday. We got all the Fires out there on the West Coast. They might have to move that game from SoFi down to Glendale, Arizona. We'll keep you abreast if anything changes. But, man, right now we get to talk a little bit of Rebels. Hotty toddy. You know we're the home of the Ole Miss Rebels. You know this. And, man, I don't know if you know this. The Ole Miss Rebels took care of Arkansas. Hey, Cal, how you like being a hog? Didn't look so good in the SEC to start off your little situation because Tennessee mollywopped them. And then Ole Miss did the exact same. We're so lucky. We get to talk with the Rebel Walks founder, publisher. That's Evie Van Pelt, sweetest lady, period, on planet Earth. And the Rebel Walk, like, hands down, bar none, #1 source for all things Ole Miss sports information. If you love the Rebels, go to therebelwalk.com for all your Ole Miss sports information. Darian, can you bring in Evie? My phone thing ain't working. Evie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here. It seems like it's been forever. Like it's been a trip to Jacksonville and back, and Bud Walton Arena and all sorts of stuff going on. So happy to be here.
Were you at Bud Walton last night?
No, I wasn't.
I was like, whoa.
I wish I was.
Man,
yeah, I wish I was.
That was impressive.
That was impressive. I tell you what, when it was 10-1 to start out, I was thinking this is suboptimal here. You know what's going to happen, but really proud of him and. Just listening to Coach Beard talk about the game afterward. They had a post-game Zoom for us with him, and because I think a lot of people didn't go, maybe weather and stuff like that in terms of media. But anyway, he was really proud of him. And what about that defense? That's looking like a Chris Beard defense, isn't it?
Held them to 66 points last night. Exactly what you needed. And I mean, Ole Miss, there was a lot of people around these offices who like to do a little gambling. We talk a lot of sports. We had a couple people who weren't listening to me. I was like, man, please, this line's BS. Ole Miss has got this joint. They're going to win the game. And I said it was going to go over. Thank goodness it did. So I got both sides last night.
Oh, you knew. We got a little bit of that going on around here too. So completely understand.
But they were asking me yesterday, they kept saying, but man, do you not remember that Memphis game? I was like, man, that's such a different game. Like that's such a different game. And then of course with what we saw Georgia do the other night, I was like, I'm telling you that Georgia wins a lot more impressive than you're giving them credit for. And then they went on the road and they just they thumped Cal and his boys.
Right. I mean, I think Chris Beard was asked, last night about, the depth of the league and the tenacity of his team, and, to go into a place like Bud Walton after the, last time you were on the road was at Memphis and that performance. And, he just said we had a chance to respond to that Memphis loss. And he said, through 2 SEC games, I think we've played 80 minutes of competitive basketball. And I think he's absolutely right. And what about Malik Dia? I mean, man, what a game for Malik yesterday. 21 points, 8 rebounds. It was really interesting because somebody asked him about Dia and him getting, I think he picked up his 3rd foul pretty early in the second half, and, he kept him on the floor, brought him back in the game pretty quickly, but he just said, I've only been coaching Dia for a year, so tonight was a great step in our relationship. The big fella earned some trust tonight. So that was interesting.
That is huge right there. Earned a little trust. Yeah. Also hit a couple threes last night, which I don't know. I always get so, I'm like, damn, man, dude's tearing it up down low and then steps out and hits a tray.
I know. That was the crazy thing. I think he was 7 for 12. He hit outside. He hit from mid-range. He attacked the basket. So we saw a little bit of everything from Malik, and that was really, really good to see.
The one thing I can say about the Rebels when I watch them, dude, they protect the basketball. They only had, I think, 5 turnovers. Like that was. I mean, that's huge.
That is huge, and I think you're right. They only had 5 turnovers, and I think they had 13 assists. So that's a good assist to turnover ratio there. And Beard seems like he likes them. I like him. I like Padula. I like when they put Klafke in. I think Klafke is going to be fun to watch. He's the one Beard said a week or two ago. He brings Marshall Henderson energy. He's got Marshall Henderson energy.
Eduardo?
Like, man, yeah, Eduardo.
Oh, I didn't know he said that about him.
Yeah.
That freshman, I'm going to keep my eye on him.
Keep your eye on him because I've like, well, okay, that is a big, bold statement there. So definitely keep an eye on him. But they definitely, it was a fun game to watch. And, road wins don't come easy in this league. I don't know, how many anybody's going to pick up. And although that A&M game last night, we watched A&M come back in that game. But, so now Ole Miss gets LSU. I think they're maybe the second worst team in the league. They get them at home
then
Saturday
by the
night.
way, and that, like, how do you not look like? You keep thinking like LSU is getting no credit in a league that everybody's getting credit because they're just not any good.
Yeah.
And when you look at Ole Miss, like right after LSU, it is one of the scarier stretches that you will see all season long. And I don't even know which team I'm more scared of. You got Alabama on the road, followed by Mississippi State, who right now looks awesome. And then you get to, after 2 road games, you get to Alabama and Mississippi State, you get to come home to face Texas A&M.
A&M, yeah. So that is a Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday stretch there that, that's not fun. This league is crazy. And did you watch that A&M Oklahoma game last night? Did you see that? The Aggies were pretty far behind and then came back.
Actually,
and really
quit watching it, paid attention to a few other games, and then saw it later in that evening when I was watching SportsCenter. I said, how the hell they come back and win that game?
How they come back? I tell you what, they're very tenacious. So that's going to be that. You're right. Coming back home to them is no easy task either. And so to enter that stretch that you're talking about, on the road now, Alabama and Mississippi State, to enter that stretch, if Ole Miss can beat LSU this weekend, we all know crazy things happen, but if they can beat them and can enter that stretch 3-0, that would be huge. That would absolutely be huge.
So right now, when you look at Chris Beard's team, and you look at the depth of the SEC, like right now, where are you looking, like which players, which group you feel like you're going to have to put most of the offense on to, carry you forward through this tough SEC?
I think obviously Dia. I think Padula. I've been really impressed with how Padula's been playing. I think, it's interesting. This was the second straight game. I think they had Davon Barnes as a starter. So we'll see if if Murray comes back or not or whatever. We'll see if I think you're going to see more and more of Klasky as the season goes on. Beard talked about that, and so I just think. Also, then you're going to, you've still got Brakefield and you've still got Morrell, and, so I think you're going to need to see, you're going to need to get production from those guys. If it's not points, then, rebounds. If it's not, assists, whatever. But I think you're going to have those guys also contributing.
Do you, what do you think about, like, how does Brakefield and Morrell, how are they, are they comfortable with their roles?
Yes, I think they are, and that's one thing that Beard has really talked about is the guys just totally buying into the team concept, and there's not anybody on that team, whether they, were a starter and now are coming off the bench or whatever. Everybody, I don't know how they feel personally, internally about it, but the way everybody is handling it all, they are all in team guys, and that's really cool to see. It really, it kind of compares in a way to how I feel Lane Kiffin has his football team, or had this year's football team bought in, and that's really pretty cool.
Yeah, because a lot of the people that I talk with, so that was one of the big concerns is, like, are they going to, are they going to be comfortable in their new roles? And it seems like Chris Beard's pushing all the right buttons. I am going to tell you that one thing I've noticed a little bit, Chris doesn't seem nearly as animated as he used to on the sidelines.
No, he doesn't, and he talked about that, too. He talked about that, I don't know if it was it might have been after the Memphis game, but he said, with a team that you do have a number of veterans on, he said you can actually kind of tell when you can just, sit back and ride it and do what you need to do, or when you have to get up and be animated and, pull some things out of them. So I thought that was interesting to hear him say.
That is interesting. But yeah, I was going to say, man, I saw Chris Beard a few times sitting down, like sitting down.
Right. That's crazy. I know what you mean. So I don't know if it's a function of he has a lot of trust in his team or, what. But he did. Also, Dre Davis. I didn't mention Dre Davis. He's another one. And I know Beard said that, it's funny the way he said it. He said this was round 2 of an 18-round fight. That's how they look at it. So second game of 18 games, so second round of an 18-round fight. SEC is as good as advertised. He did say he was really encouraged by Matt Morrell and Dre Davis because they got in trouble in the first half, but in the second half they played really, really well, and he said probably one of their better 20-minute segments. And also mentioned taking care of the ball, which you mentioned. That was key.
Well, we also got, what do you think about the little man, Jalen Murray? Like when he's out there, kind of doing his New York thing.
Doing his New York thing. I tell you what, he, I think he played 33 minutes in that game. I just love to watch him. I tell you what, he's ready to go off at any minute. I think he had 6 assists and 6 rebounds, and anyway, he's just, don't you just love watching him? Like, I could just watch him. Even if he doesn't have the ball, I could just watch him.
I could too.
He's just a little energizer.
I was going to say he's a little energizer bunny, and he's like my size, like,
yeah, you're just like, go,
like, how's this little guy doing it?
That's right.
I will say he was an assist machine the other night, though. He was dropping some beautiful dimes against Arkansas.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He, like I say, I think he had 6, and he's another key player who is, willing to do anything to contribute to the team from everything that we've seen, and then just the times that we've talked to him. That's another high character guy. So I think we're seeing that with Beard, who he's bringing in. This much more looks like a Chris Beard team to me. For once, they did not get out rebounded. They won the rebounding margin by 1, 36-35. So that was interesting.
So, I like Penny talking about his team here in Memphis. He talks about this team. It's not a bunch of me guys. They're not selfish. They play for their team. You talk about Chris Beard talking about you got a mature team. They're playing for each other. They're accepting their roles. And then you see teams that are like struggling to find success. And it's just like I'm thinking about Mick Cronin the other night, UCLA's coach, of course, after
yes.
Michigan.
He said they're soft.
Yes,
They're
dude.
soft
I was like, he's like, we're soft.
And they're delusional.
Yes.
He said they're delusional. That was hilarious.
I was like watching that because I watched Michigan put man, Hunter Dickinson, them boys, they put it on UCLA. They did make a nice little run in the second, like the second half to make it like respectable and get a little bit nervous. But then Michigan just poured it on. And after the game, Mick Cronin said, we're soft every day. I have more passion and energy in practice than anybody else. I'm tired of it. It's a joke. The truth is it's just really hard coaching guys who are delusional. And I said, damn.
I know. And he threw his assistant coaches in there also. I mean, I think he mentioned the assistant coaches at some point. And so, it was just hilarious. I mean, I really, I get his frustration. I mean, I don't know, how that went over, with the team and the coaches. But, I mean, I have a feeling that he's probably right.
Sometimes you got to have that come to Jesus moment. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like UCLA is about that at that point right now. And again, like Memphis, we dealt with it last year. Like all of a sudden we're top 10 in the country. Everything's going good. They bring in Naquan Tomlin. And again, he was a great person, great fit, hustled his little tail off. But Quinterly was whining. Everybody's whining. You got my man Browns, like, I ain't playing. Like we saw, a bunch of me dudes and it doesn't work. With the transfer portal being open, is that what coaches now have to focus more on, is bringing in the right kind of guys to feed around each other? Because, like, right now, those 5 stars are great. But if they're, like, me dudes, it just ain't working.
It's not working. And, it's funny. I don't know exactly. I guess every coach kind of knows what he's looking for. But to kind of switch over to football, because they have just, so many transfers. Kiffin and Golding, they've done a really, really, really good job. And I think part of it, they had Jackson Dart so involved in helping build that team to the point where Lane Kiffin said, I don't think I have ever seen a player be so involved and be so critical in building a team through the portal as Jackson Dart was this team this past season. And so I just think you really got to get it right. And the crazy thing is, I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, if you're entering the portal and you're leaving somewhere, obviously, with the exception of maybe you're leaving one place and you're coming to get a boatload more money, okay. But a lot of these guys are wanting, they're wanting playing time and they're wanting to be on the field and they're wanting to get film on themselves. And Kiffin has talked about, some of them come in and they don't, they find themselves on special teams or whatever. And yet again, they've been team players. So I've been really impressed with that.
I just realized this is the first Thursday that we've talked in the new year, isn't it?
Yes, we didn't talk about the bowl game. And
my goodness.
Sometime I'll have to tell you about all my Uber experiences in Jacksonville because they were just quite strange. And,
well, you turned off the power in your hotel, I heard. Would you plug in too many curling irons?
I blew the power out. Yeah, blew the power out in my hotel, I think, with my curling iron. Uber guy pulls up, only has one working headlight. And then he doesn't have enough room for all of us. I had 4 other people with me, and even though we booked a 6-person Uber, he didn't have room. He had a baby seat, and he didn't have room in like the trunk. So I had to hold the baby seat in my lap the whole way to Everbank Stadium. It was quite interesting, but really,
the game was awesome, though. Like, it was a beatdown. It was the best, the easiest bet that I've made all season long. I would have never felt as comfortable.
I mean, wasn't it? Like, you just wondered, like, the guys out in the desert maybe got that one wrong because that really was easy money, and I enjoyed it and had a great time. They had Jackson and Jordan Watkins in to talk to us post game, and I got to tell you, I know, you're supposed to be a professional journalist and all, but you cover these guys for a while, and I mean, it was sad. I was sad. It's the last time we were gonna have them there, and I could tell it was kind of poignant for them as well, and as well for Lane, because those guys just sure did a lot for the program. And I got to tell you, I normally, like on social media, I do not ever drop down and get into it with anybody. But on Facebook, on the Rebel Walk Facebook page, we've had people, yeah, but you just beat Duke. It's always fans of other teams. I don't know why they're coming to our page. But, you can only play who is there for you to play.
That is true. And by the way, this will be the second year they finish in the top 10. So
yes, see, that's the thing. David posted something about that they should, with so many 11 teams or however many losing above them. They were ranked 16. They should finish in the top 10 for the second year in a row. And I believe that might be the first time ever. David told me that. It's either first or second time. So it hardly happens that they finish top 10 back to back. So another great accomplishment. And Lane's still killing it in the portal. I mean, he's, doing a good job. I think we're going to see a little bit more action coming up here. And, people have 5 days after bowl games are over to enter the portal, even though it's closed. And then also, of course, grad transfers can enter at any time.
So Ole Miss, by the way, everything's cool with Austin Simmons, right?
Everything is cool with Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons was happy, at the game. It was funny, though. I don't know if you noticed. At one point, Kiffin sent Simmons to go on in the game at the latter part,
After
and
the
Jackson
touchdown
waved
pass.
him. I think even before, Jackson waved him off and sent him back to the sidelines. Jackson made that decision.
Kiffin
said
man,
that.
it's my last
And
game.
That's right. And Kiffin said, when they get to be this age, sometimes they just don't mind very well. And it just was funny, though. Because I had actually a media member tell me, oh, no, Austin Simmons will be in, to start the third quarter. And I was like, the heck he will. Jackson is doing this last ride as long as he can, and he earned it. And so, yeah, Kiffin really didn't want them to score a touchdown on that Dart to Watkins play. Dart was supposed to do something else with the ball. But,
I saw him get
ride,
into him in the very end of the game. I was like, man, he's jumping him.
Yes, he kind of was. Kiffin said he apologized to Manny Diaz after the game. And, but I'm kind of old school. I kind of feel like, if you don't like it, then stop us. When Ole Miss got curb stomped by Georgia the year before in Athens, I don't remember any single Ole Miss fan ever saying they ran the score up on us. No, we got to get better. We got to get better. And I feel like Ole Miss did get better, and they're going to continue to do so.
I could talk Rebels all day long, but I got to ask you because, again, tonight we're going to be snowed in. Looks like tomorrow, I think Ohio State, Texas might have NFL-style numbers with half the country in the house watching the game. I think tonight's going to be a great game. I need to know your opinions on these two games. You got any leans on Notre Dame, Penn State?
Oh, man. I know Notre Dame's favored by 1, I think. Man, I tell you what, Notre Dame looked pretty strong.
Against Georgia.
Yeah, they look really, really strong. So I'm still not, I know Penn State is ranked number 4, but I'm still not really on the Penn State bus. I think Notre Dame takes that one. And I think I think that they will do more than cover. So that's my thought on that.
The Golden Domers.
Golden Domers. And then Ohio State and Texas. Ohio State's favored by 6 in that one. That's going to be up in the Cotton Bowl. And what I'm wondering, because Dallas to Oklahoma all around, snow could have double-digit, in the Oklahoma portion. And then into Dallas, I think they're expecting a bunch of snow also. So I'm kind of curious about fans, getting in, how
they
a lot
handle
of travel. Yeah, and how they get there, because there's a lot of flights that have been canceled. So that's going to be interesting to see. I do think Ohio State will take that one, but I don't know that they're going to cover. I think that might be a little bit closer
than the experts believe. Evie Van Pelt, she is the founder, the publisher of the Rebel Walk, one of the sweetest people on planet Earth. Go to therebelwalk.com. It's your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. Tell David I said Happy New Year, and man, hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Take care, Evie. That's my
Thank you.
sweet friend, Miss Evie Van Pelt. Man, I'm late for a break, but I got to tell you, as much as I love Evie, and I love her, I think I cracked the code, man. I think I cracked the code.
What code is that, John?
That's who's going to win tonight. I've already told you in the first hour if you were listening, but if you haven't been listening, I got some funny stories, and I'm going to tell you who's going to win, who's going to cover, and who's going to make you enough money to buy all the Tito's in the liquor store and make them look like a Kroger. Because you say there's nothing in Kroger now?
Nothing.
Nada.
Grocery stores are slim pickings.
Well, make that money and make sure you curl up to a bottle of Tito's this week. When life hands you lemons, you don't freak out, you don't fret, you don't stress. You just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best. That's Tito's handmade vodka. Back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Sports 56 and 95 FM.
The system at Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise East on Poplar is perfect. First, you order at the counter from the huge menu, chock full of deliciousness. Wait, before you do that, just make sure your entire party is there. Then, get in line. Then, order at the counter from the huge menu of deliciousness. Then, grab a number and head to any table you'd like. I mean, as long as there aren't people already sitting there. Then, before you know it, the best breakfast or lunch you can't find anywhere but Sunrise will arrive, piping hot and fresh. Remember, you can only stay an hour at Sunrise because people refuse to leave.
JLab Audio is changing the audio game for good, producing some of the best earbuds and headphones designed for everyday life without breaking the bank. For those looking to conquer their fitness goals in 2025, JLab recommends the J-Buds Sport ANC4, offering a secure fit, super long battery life. Discover your perfect pair of headphones and upgrade your audio game today. I did. Look for the JLab Blue Box at retailers everywhere or visit jlab.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Online radio show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Nancy Porter with 24/7 Sports. Your Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC sports ball, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Garvey from kickoff coverage through the extra innings. Your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station. Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. And once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday, always brought to you by the best, and that's Tito's Handmade Vodka. There's no frills, there's no flavors, there's no fancy labels, just the good stuff, baby, the juice. I hadn't had a drink since January 1st. Do you know that?
Bless your heart.
I know, man. I'm trying that dry January thing. But I'd make an excuse during college football playoff games and on Thirsty Thursdays. Those are built-in bye weeks. So today I'll be stopping by my local watering hole, get me a little Tito's on. Do want to remind you people out there, I know it's a little bit chilly, it's a little bit cold, but man, you got Christmas behind you. You look into the future. Take care of your crib. Take care of your business. Go to myautomaticgates.com. Get your gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for your residential, commercial, and industrial needs. That includes repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing. They came out to my crib and designed it. Then they installed that junt. Automatic Gates are awesome, and they somehow just seamlessly blend aesthetic appeal and security all together in one, and then you just push a little button. Who don't like just to push a button and get what they want? I know I do. Go to myautomaticgates.com. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
I told y'all I cracked the code. This isn't necessarily a story and a funny story, but it's all about making money, man. Got to make that money, man. That money, man.
Go ahead,
Gotta make
John.
that
All right.
money, man. Yeah, that's old school stuff back in the day. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're in Texas and you look at this team, what do they remind you of? To me, they remind me of a bully. You know, a bully will pick on people smaller than them. You know, big bullies always walk around picking on little people. Texas picks on little people. When Texas faces anybody their size, guess what happens to Texas?
Punks jump up to get beat down?
Them punks get jumped up to beat down is the way I like it.
Little house of pain.
Little house of pain. Man, let me tell you something. Texas almost got punched in the face by Scattaboo. I don't know if you know this. Scattaboo is not Travion Henderson. He is not Quinshon Judkins. And Arizona State was without their best wide receiver, and their best wide receiver for Arizona State couldn't hold Jeremiah Smith's jock or Emeka Egbuka. Couldn't hold their jock. This is going to get silly. Bullies about to get bullied. Ohio State, I want you also to think about this. Texas players, 5 stars, their whole life eating caviar, out like eating like beef tenderloin.
They have 50 of them on the squad, Joe.
Bunch of ballers living their life. By the way, you ever seen the women in Texas? Yo.
They're bigger in Texas.
Man, man, everything's bigger in Texas, but the broads, the babes, they look fly. Fly honeys all over Texas. Let's just be real. They are. In Ohio State, so Texas, they lose the game. Like a bully, when he runs into a bully, he's gonna pop up to get beat down. Also, though, a bully gonna run back to his sweet little thing, snuggle with her, so he feels a little bit better about himself. And there's 10s running around Texas all over the place. In Ohio, they are so focused on football, it's not funny, because everybody right now in Ohio, you could be a 10, but you probably look like Missy Elliott before Ozempic in a FUBU jacket. Like, you have to use your imagination. Like, these dudes ain't, like, there ain't no bumping and grinding going on. Like, you singularly focused on the task at hand. It's like everybody up north has OCD during the winter. They're obsessive and compulsive. I got to finish this. I got to do that. Because you know your mind ain't wandering. And you know when, like, coaches have to yank a knot in somebody? Basically, get your mind out the gutter and focus on the game, son.
That's coaching.
And that's coaching, man. Because, like, hey, young men, we got hormonal issues. Like, we might not have periods.
But we got issues.
But we got some serious issues. And again, I really think the way Ohio State's been focused in since that Michigan loss, the way they toppled Tennessee, they dropped 42 on Tennessee, 41 on the Ducks, quack, quack. I think they're rolling. They have the most NFL talent. Their defense is ridiculous. And Will Howard's right now the best. He's playing quarterback position better than anybody that's left in the college football playoffs. I'm telling you, Texas gets rolled. What happens to bullies?
They jump up to get beat down.
And that's what's going to happen. I think Ohio State beats them by 20 points. At least 14. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be sitting there if you're holding -5 at the end of the game with a minute left, worried that they're going to go down the field and score a last touchdown. Because guess what? You don't just give up 7. They win by a minimum of 14. Ohio State rolls. And again, think about all those kids in Ohio State right now. Like, man, like they're going from a cold place down to which is usually a warm place, and it's going to be cold. They're going to be used to it. Not that the game matters. I'm talking about they're going to be used to the scenery. It ain't like all of a sudden they're going to get off the plane and a bunch of girls are going to be in bikinis. Because then that could hurt Ohio State. Because they we ain't seen that since June.
It may happen there in Dallas.
July, man. I know for August is cold by then.
Well, you know what? In Dallas, it's actually snowing. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so on other
everybody's going to be covered up, so they're going to be singularly focused. And again, bullies are going to get bullied when they face somebody as big as them. Tell me the team that Texas has beaten this year that you said, oh my gosh, they're a juggernaut. Got worked by Georgia both times. Their big win, Texas A&M, early in the season against a Michigan team with no quarterback. No. I mean, Vanderbilt, they beat by 3. Now, was this a good Vanderbilt team? Yes, I'm going to sit there and say it's a good Vanderbilt team. But damn, man. I mean, Arkansas wasn't any good. Kentucky wasn't any good. Oklahoma was terrible. Mississippi State was just Bodie. Texas, San Antonio, Louisiana, Monroe, Colorado State. They ain't beat nobody. Scatterboo and Arizona State should have beat Texas last week. Clemson gave them a game. Ohio State rolls. And then I did crack the code. I already told you. If you listened earlier, you're like, John, you're repeating yourself. Yes, because I'm trying to make y'all money. This is important. It's like a PSA. I like Marcus Freeman. I like him a lot. He's got just like that. He's got that swagger. You know what I mean? Young dude, polarizing, galvanizing. His team likes him. His players like him. His coaches like him.
Everything Ryan Day used to be, right?
Cool, calm. No, Ryan Day was never cool, calm, and collected, never galvanizing. Ryan Day been dyeing his damn beard since his first grade came in. Just for men, Ryan Day, sorry ass. Now, I think his team wins it all, but I'm still not a big Ryan Day guy.
Just not cool.
You know, I don't really like the Big Ten, if you can't tell. But, man, I loved Notre Dame at first because of Marcus Freeman, because of Jeremiah Love. What the world needs now is love, love, love. Well, Love's banged up. His knee be hurting. He didn't look like Love in the Georgia game. Riley Leonard did it. I'm telling you, Drew's not going to make the mistakes that Gunnar Stockton, and he only has 10 interceptions. Gunnar turned it over inside the 20. ATN fumbled the football. They also had a kick return for a touchdown. We're +2 in the turnover margin. Notre Dame, that ain't happening tonight. Both coaches keep this thing close to the vest. I think Penn State can run on Notre Dame. Notre Dame's been known to be run on. Georgia can't, they don't run the ball well. I told you that before the game, did I not? I said, hey, look at just Georgia football team. They don't run the football well. You don't also have the weapons that they had last year with Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. Dylan Bell ain't that dude. Well, Mr. Warren is that dude for Penn State. I absolutely, I can't believe I'm saying this, man. I know Penn State beat SMU, not a big deal. Beat Boise State, not a big deal. This is where big game James Franklin can maybe get rid of the name and the moniker Big Game James, because he always fails and comes up short and small and flaccid. Well, I think he takes a Viagra before the game and he punches on through. James Franklin and the Nittany Lions come out high on like Cialis and Viagra.
I hope that works for her.
They're going to be freaking out. I'm telling you right now, Penn State runs the ball, pounds that junt inside. Notre Dame's got a few injuries. They're banged up on the front seven and the offensive line. I think they get had. Penn State, top 4 against the run in the country. Notre Dame, great run team. Not today. Not tonight. In a close one, Penn State wins. I think it's going to be like 23-17. It's going to be a tight one. Tight. And that's how we like it with college football, right? We don't need these blowouts. We don't need gaping holes. We want the game to be tight. And I think tonight's is going to be the game that's actually close. Now, we did also a little bit earlier talk about some of the myths that need to be busted. James Franklin definitely needs, not a myth, it's a fact. He's Big Game James for a reason. But again, I also told you earlier in the show who has the most to gain. The program who could literally pick up the most momentum would probably be a young Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame, a new era of Notre Dame football carried into the next decade. Use that $14 million in your name, image, and likeness and your revenue sharing. You get to keep it all because you're not part of a conference. That's also an advantage. But I still think James Franklin would actually even gain more because I don't think there's anybody in the Big Ten. Like, I don't think there's a fan that is a Big Ten fan of another team believes that Penn State's going to win tonight because they see every big game that James Franklin coaches in, Penn State loses. Not tonight.
If he wins, he becomes cool again, kind of like what you were saying. On the recruiting trail.
Anyway. James Franklin, he'll bring, Keegan Morgan Key or something?
Yeah, they can walk into
Keegan
mom's,
Michael Key.
Yeah, they can walk into mom and dad's front living
jokes.
room. Yeah, tell jokes and be happy and say, hey, I won the big one.
I won the big one.
Well, the second, the biggest one. He needs to kind of win it all for me, but I'm with you.
By the way, one other note. We heard anything about Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor?
No, they been silent, man.
So they just be doing their show?
They just
with that huge elephant in the room?
Apparently all of the bosses, all of the producers, all of the talent are just fine. They are doing the show. Today is Thursday. They both will do their 4th show this week and have not said one word about it.
And Joy Taylor looks like she's a damn nun now. Like
Yes.
she doesn't have her buddies out.
Not at all.
What do you call it? What do girls usually call their tatas?
I don't know.
My
but
friends.
Jason Whitlock, as we heard yesterday, called them cans. So.
My cans.
Yeah. So.
My big bosom.
But yeah, she is noticeably different as far as on the wardrobe front.
Dude, I didn't even know pantyhose they made anymore.
Yes,
I
and
saw
she
her
has been wearing them.
Pantyhose and covering up her tatas.
Yes, and she has to know.
Do you think anybody's going to listen to her now?
Nope.
Girl, I ain't mad at you, man. Use what God gave you. Use your talent.
Dressed like Dr. Ruth all of a sudden.
Damn.
She does. You remember
Wasn't she
Dr.
the love doctor, though?
Dr. Ruth?
Dr. Ruth, wasn't she the one that talked about sex all the time?
No, not necessarily sex. No.
Man, I think so, bro.
Not Dr.
I'm
Ruth.
pretty sure, dude. Dr. Ruth.
Those are
was
the two guys off MTV, Adam and...
No, sex doctor. I'm Googling it, dog. I'm
I
terrible.
don't think Dr. Ruth was that
Bro,
lady.
I'm telling you, I think the only reason I know who Dr. Ruth is because she talked about sex.
Maybe you think about Murder, She Wrote.
Dr. Ruth, sex therapist, homie. Don't mess with me, bro. My little head's smarter than my big one. It's got a better memory than I do.
And you know Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, son.
Oh, man.
I'm proud of myself. By the way, we got those terrible fires, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, damn, bro.
Hockey games already been canceled.
They finally did. I did notice it came out about 10 minutes after I started my show, and I just noticed it. The Lakers-Hornets game tonight has been postponed due to the wildfires in L.A. The Kings game's also been postponed. And I haven't heard, has anything word to come on about the game on Monday night between, of course, the Vikings and the Rams.
They are making concessions. So I heard a report.
Glendale, Arizona.
There
That's
you go.
what I keep hearing.
Yep.
But they haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Not as of yet, good sir.
Speaking of pulling the trigger, Ja Morant's out tonight. Just kidding. No, they play in the Rockets.
He's going to tweet you for this. Somebody's going to tell him. He's
You
gonna
know
tweet
I'm
you.
joking, John.
He's going to tweet you.
Look, I'm a second, man. I don't know if you know this. I'm all about the Second Amendment. Come in my house, you're going to find some guns, dog.
Yeah, that to that guy that's on the air from, he's not going to call you by name, but you'll know he's talking about you.
Man, I'm telling you. You know Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
My boy Jay, Tennessee Jay. I get all my guns from Top Gun Memphis. And it's the dopest shooting range, period. And I don't think there's any place outside of maybe Las Vegas that you can go to and shoot fully automatic machine guns. And I'm dead serious when I say this. The last time I went to Top Gun, did you see my what do you call that piece of paper that you fly? The target? It's not the target. It's that little, what is it?
I don't know, the little silhouette.
No, man,
that
like
you shoot.
it's like, it's the bullseye, but I didn't want to do bullseye. I did the man who had a
like the
gun
little man
against the
silhouette.
woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like
the bad guy, Joe.
They were telling me how I wasn't going to hit the target with a machine gun, and I was like, man, I don't know if he knows. I've been shooting guns my whole life. I've shot machine guns, fool. And they're like, no, whatever, no. I was like, man, I put up that little target. I said, grab the man, put the woman, and they're like, oh, it's going to be impossible. You'll kill the woman. Bro.
Did she live? Is she alive, Joe?
I can't believe. I'm like the Jack Bauer that nobody knew about. I guess nobody's supposed to know about Jack Bauer. Yeah, dude, it was ridiculous. I was capping, folks. I can't believe the Army and military didn't reach out to find me. Man, I'm like, seriously. With all the stuff going on in the world right now, give me a machine gun. Here it is, D. Look at that. Oh, snap. Oh, you can't see it on the damn little YouTube. Anyway, I'll show you during the break. You can brag about me on the other side. I do have something else to bet on. And I did want to remind you, it's going to be cold tonight, 12 o'clock, snow coming in. You better wake up tomorrow. And I already have been to the liquor store, because if you aren't going today, you will regret it tomorrow. Do today. Do it today. Why? Why wait for tomorrow? Do you know tomorrow's not even promised? Like, man, don't you want to go out in style? Styling and profiling. Tito's. If you're going to be sitting at home chilling all weekend, watching football, we got wild card weekend, we got college football playoffs, grab you some Tito's on the way home. It is the best vodka on planet Earth. Period. End of discussion. Back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I think people forget there's a Central Barbecue location in South Haven.
And that's on us.
Well, you.
What does that mean?
Well, you're the spokesperson for Central Barbecue. It's your responsibility to remind people there's a Central Barbecue in South Haven.
It's very convenient that I'm the spokesperson when there's responsibility to be taken.
Just mention the Central Barbecue location in South Haven.
I got a lot to remember. There's the location on Butler downtown. There's a location on Summer, on Poplar.
And Getwell Road in South Haven. How hard is that?
I've heard you call yourself a spokesperson for Central Barbecue.
No, it was just to pick up chicks.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair? Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusive supply. Visit staples.com/rent for details. Ends 2/1.
The Family Leisure floor model sale is happening right now through the end of January. Family Leisure has got to get rid of all the 2024 inventory because all the new 2025 items are starting to arrive. All floor models are up to 50% off. You want a cold plunge tub? They start at $49.99. Go the other route with a hot tub. Get $3,000 off with free steps and chemicals. Family Leisure has pool tables, arcades, ping pong, air hockey, even baseball tables from 20 to 60% off. Want beer seating? Family Leisure has beer seating up to 75% off. Plus, now's the time to start thinking about pool seats. You can buy it and get on the installation schedule and be ready before everyone else. Special financing is also available. If you want to get free delivery on any of these items, you just tell the family staff at Family Leisure that you are this commercial. It's the floor model. So now, through the end of January, Family Leisure, 100 I-40, family and fun. Come to
Stop pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday, always brought to you by the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. Right now, I'm a little thirsty and hungry. Think about this, man. You might be snowed in all weekend. You might want to head over to Los Cabos right now, right there at Summer and Graham. Till 3 o'clock today, they got lunch specials. 10 to 3 daily, $7 to $11. How you like me now? Premium tequila, Tito's, full bar. It's just great fruit. It's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Check out Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham. By the way, Dr. Ruth, I found out, just passed away in July 12th. R.I.P. Dr. Ruth. Did you know that she was 96 years old?
She was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Quite up there.
And do you know why I remember? Because she had an open mind. She was not judgmental, and she was very good-humored about like a little convo about some sex, a little bumping and grinding.
Dr. Ruth taught you your contraception game?
Man, she just talked to me like I remember listening to some of her stuff. Like back in the day, we had to listen to it on a. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I know I had heard something. I'm sure. Oh wait, I think Dr. Roos was the first that ever told me. Never mind, y'all don't want to hear that. Just kidding. You ever heard the
go blind?
Yeah, you'll go blind. Exit only. And then she comes in, not so fast, my friend. I'm like, ah. But anyway, Dr. Ruth's gone. I told you I showed Darian. I capped my man, did I not?
Yeah, you did, but your girl caught her straight.
Dude, she got grazed on her right arm. By the way, if you didn't notice, she would have already moved out because I took his arm off, hit him center mass and in the head. She's going to move a little left. And by the way, if she got a flesh wound, dude was going to kill her.
So she should be good.
She got a flesh wound, like grazed. Please. And by the way, I mean, that's right there on the edge. That might have just been her sweater. We talked about our bets. I love Penn State tonight. I haven't talked myself into it. I really do. I just don't see Notre Dame running the football against Penn State at all. I don't see Drew Aller making the mistakes that a young Gunnar Stockton did, a very inexperienced Gunnar Stockton. And I think that the two running backs for Penn State, the fact that you have two dogs is better than one, right?
Correct.
Especially if you got two dogs and one dog is banged up because Jeremiah Love is beat up. But Notre Dame as a team, their defense, they're dealing with more injuries. They also have 2 fewer days to recuperate from injury, 2 fewer days to prepare. Big Game James is going to have a big game, man, tonight. I'm definitely rocking with Penn State. Parlay them junts with Ohio State right now -5 because Ohio State rolls Texas tomorrow. 2-game parlay, Penn State money line, Ohio State -5. That's my time. Peace.